All right, guys, let's continue. Thank you so much for making it up to this far. Obviously, when we are developing locally, we are hoping to deploy our project somewhere, okay, to make it online, to make it live. So, how are we going to do that? So, this video is all about that. We are going to deploy our build or our project to Vessel. Okay, what is Vessel? Vessel, it's a company that created Next.js. So they have got their own platform where it makes it easier for us as developers to some sort of what can I say, deploy or publish next project. I think not only next project, if I can be honest, because some time ago I once deployed a pure React application and everything worked fine. Okay, so obviously, even with this one, I'm expecting you to go to Vercel and register your free account. I am also using a free account. Okay, so let's just type here Vercel. So this might takes us to my dashboard. Okay, so which is when you are done registering, also you are going to have a dashboard like this. Okay, so these companies, which is some sort of Vessel, GitHub, and all other tech companies, they are making our lives easier by doing what? By working together, okay, or at least by allowing other companies to some sort of use some certain APIs, okay, in their platform, okay. So it's easy to deploy an app or a code that is on GitHub, okay, with Vercel. Okay, so let's just go here. As you can see, this is where I am. So what I want to do here also, guys, with Vercel, I'm not the guru. Okay, I'm just going to help you to solve the problem. One important thing that is worth mentioning, as you can see here, at least I did a few things before I some sort of deploy this to Vercel. It's very important to deploy your code or to some sort of publish your code to Vercel as early as possible. Okay, why? Deploying a code to Vercel or some sort of publishing it online, it's also a mission on its own. Okay, maybe you will see as we are working here, okay, there are some errors that you are going to encounter, whereas on your Visual Studio Code the code can run, but now when you are pushing it to Vercel, you might see some funny, okay, or some sort of what can I say, scary bugs, so I'm trying to say, guys, deploying, it's a mission on its own. It comes with its own some challenges. Okay, I think for every level there's another devil. Okay, so that's true. So the rule of thumb, please publish it as early as possible, okay, without before you install a lot of complicated packages, because some other packages, they might cause some error. So if you can some sort of deploy early, you might know and you might pick up which packages that might cause a problem. Okay, so let's continue, guys. So now we are here. Okay, let me just go to my projects. Okay, fine, let's just go here. And then here, what I want to do, I want to create a new project. Where do I go? I think here. And then as you can see, guys, create a new project. Okay, this will give me an option, okay, to choose a repo from GitHub. As you can see, guys, okay, import git repo. As you can see, this is the repository that we've recently created. So to make my life easier, I'm just going to import it. So as you can see, guys, these companies are working together to make our lives easier. Okay, so I'm just going to import that. I need to give it a name. I don't mind much about this name. Okay, I think that is all. Okay, that is all. Let me just click here, deploy. Okay, it's very rare that when you deploy this, it just works smooth without errors. Okay, so another important thing, guys, another important thing, always check here. Okay, always check this. Okay, don't lose sight of this. Okay, when this is happening, okay, let's see, where can I, okay, let's see, guys, where can I see some sort of a full console log of these errors and what it's doing? As you can see, guys, now it's creating an optimized build. Let me zoom it. This is very important, guys. I will tell you now why. Okay, let me dismiss this. Okay, so this is showing you what Vercel is doing. Okay, why this is important? Remember I said there might always be errors in this thing. Okay, it's very rare that it just runs smooth. Okay, and those errors, they are teaching you something. But it's very important to look at what is going on here. Okay, now it quickly finished, and we had no errors. The reason is not like I'm special or something. Okay, it was still too early. Okay, what I used to do, I used to commit project maybe halfway the project timeline, and I will have to fix a lot of bugs. Okay, so before I show you guys what is going on here, let me show you what is more important here, so that you can learn the system as well. Okay, let's see, I think I can go back here. Okay, I think I can go back here. Let me go to my projects. Where are my projects? Let's see, what do I want to do? Nope, this is not what I want. Okay, let me go here, and let's see, what do I want. Let's go here. I want deployments. Usually it's supposed to be here, but obviously maybe, what do I need to do? Let me click here, doesn't work. Let me click here, doesn't work. Let me click home, doesn't work. Okay, let me just type vessel here so that I could be taken to the dashboard. Okay, let's see, maybe I have to click a project, which is this one. Okay, before I didn't click any project. So as you can see, guys, here is this project, so I need to click on it. Let's see, let's see. Yeah, now I've clicked on that project, and here is that project. Now we've got deployments. Okay, so that means we must be in a project before we have deployments. Okay, remember, guys, I told you I'm not a guru in this thing. I'm just going to show you some tips and tricks, and also how do I learn as I go. Okay, as I have told you that. Okay, now what we want to do, we want that deployment. Okay, this is the project, I'm happy with it, but I want the deployment. It's like that process of installing, I want us to go there. So as you can see, guys, let's check, is this the project, the deployment that we did 3 minutes ago? I think so. So let's click where, let's click where, let's click where. Let's just click anywhere here. Okay, I think it's this one. Okay, cool, this is where I want to be. Let's go down, guys. Let's see on build logs. Okay, this is very important. Okay, this is very important. I'm just going to show you some things that I've noticed as time goes by, which are very important. Let me zoom again, zoom in. I'm happy with this. Okay, so guys, your local host, which is your machine, it's some sort of a simulation, it's some sort of a practice ground of what is going on when you actually deploy your application. Okay, so now once you press the deploy button here on Vessel actually deploys your application. So it's very important for you to be familiar with this deployment process. Okay, the first thing that you need to know, your environment, which is your local computer, your Windows, and your local node, it's some sort of a simulation. It's some sort of a, let's say, a fake platform. Okay, it's useful enough to be able to help you to some sort of build a project and see it. Okay, but now when you push it here, or when you press that deploy button, this is the real, what can I say, deployment. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say there are differences. Okay, there are some minor differences. Let me just give you an example, a black and white difference. In your own local machine, you are not a company, you are not a corporation. This is just Windows, or this is Mac. Everything is free. Okay, now when you get into Vessel, as much as Vessel, they've got a free tier. Okay, just for us, I think they are calling it a hobby. Okay, but this is a paid service. It has got a premium. So meaning that there are some restrictions that they will impose upon you. Obviously, I'm not that much affected as a freelancer, or okay, at this point in time. Okay, but there are some restrictions. So as you can see, this development process or environment, it's more like it's controlled. Vessel want to make money. So in a way, now things are not as, what can I say, free as your local machine. So that's why it's possible that you can have a something that is clean, a code that is clean, that works here. Okay, 100%. But when it comes to here, it might not work. Just another, let me throw another minor difference. Okay, maybe here your TypeScript might work well. Okay, maybe this environment might not be strict when it comes to TypeScript rules. And then when you are deploying it here, it will tell you that sorry, a certain variable name is not has been declared. So as you can see, the strictness might be different. Okay. So guys, let's continue. This is very important. Obviously, I don't know much about what is going on here. I'm not a vessel engineer or a node engineer, but I'm just going to show you things that I have picked up, okay, as I am working with vessel or deploying on vessel, and also how those things have helped me, okay. So as you can see, guys, first of all, it clones. So the first thing that I need to establish here, this is some sort of a dashboard. Okay. Do you know a car dashboard? Okay. A car dashboard shows you what's going on in the engine. So it's some sort of a snapshot. So this shows you, it explains to you what's going on. Okay. So as you can see, guys, I don't like this. This is cloning the GitHub. Uh, previous build catch not available. Sorry. Okay, cloning complete. That means now the cloning has been complete. As you can see now, it's running vessel build. Obviously, it's going to have some certain versions there. Installing dependencies. Okay, let's go back here. This is an opportunity for us to learn. Whenever you are installing a package here, okay, there will be always this file which is package.json. Okay, package.json. So this package.json has got a list of all your dependencies. So this means that when we are pushing to GitHub, we don't push everything. There are some files which are ignored here. Okay, so how do we know those files? I think where is git ignore? Here is a list of files which are being ignored. Okay, so in order to save space and to be efficient, these files are not being pushed. Why? Simply because your deployment platform can also reinstall those packages. So we don't really need those actual files. So a list of dependencies, they are here. So Vessel now needs to some sort of install those dependencies, as you can see, okay, to its own environment. Okay. Some other things, guys, I don't want to lie, I don't know much about them. Okay, so it's telling us here added 411 packages, okay, in 10 seconds. Okay, so 139 packages are looking for funding. Also get now I'm starting to use my native language or some sort of fillers. Okay, my apologies about that, which is care. So when I'm saying care, um what it translates to English. You see, it's something, those things, or you check. Okay, it's those things that you really, they are intrinsically some sort of built into the language. You can't really tell what those things are. Okay, so my apologies about that in case you got lost. So as you can see, guys, it's telling us that it has installed 139 packages, are looking for funding. Also, these things, they are, these warnings, they are usually, or these logs, they are usually there on Visual Studio Code as well. Okay, so it's telling us this is furniture version 0.1.0. You know this. Okay, so I think here it's running next build. Okay, now let's read here. Attention, next is now collects completely anonymous telemetry. This doesn't really affect us. Okay, let's see creating an optimized build production. Okay, remember, Next.js has got an opinion. Okay, I would like to believe every framework or library, it has an opinion. The reason why it existed because it saw something, a gap, and then by providing a solution, it's some sort of bringing your own opinion into the community. So Next.js has got its own opinion. What do I mean by an opinion? Number one, how files are supposed to be rendered. Okay, how pages are supposed to be structured, how the web tech is supposed to be efficient. Those are just some small opinions. Okay, so here it's creating an optimized production build. Okay, based on its own opinion, it's trying to rearrange your code or some sort of structure it, or let's say use the word compress, not really literally. So it's trying to compress your code into an easy, fast, and some sort of efficient code. Okay, based on its own opinion. Compiled successfully, linting and checking validity of type. This step will always hit you, okay? More especially if your TypeScript is still what can I say, it's still poor, your TypeScript skills are still poor, okay? Because here this lint works and it's checking some validity of type, which is here is just checking TypeScript to check if are your types matching and everything, okay? So most of your build, or most of mine build, has been jamming here, okay? There's certain type doesn't match or whatever, okay, all the TypeScript errors, okay? So collecting page data, I cannot really tell you what's going on behind the scene, okay? And then here, okay, let's go back to Next.js's opinion, okay? Here, generating static pages, okay? I'm not going to dive deep into this concept, but I'm just going to give you an idea, okay? Let's say we had what website can I go to? Let me just type a blog, okay? I hope I'm going to be taken to a blog, okay? Let's just go here, okay? I just want to give you an idea, okay? Tell me if you were creating an application, okay? This is some sort of, let's say, a hero text, okay? Would you just type this text as it is in an H1 or a P paragraph, or you will try to render it dynamically, maybe pull it from the database and then paste it here, okay? And please, we're just creating a simple application. You don't have to think far, okay? Based on my experience, okay, I will just create an H1 tag and type this, because I am going to so that I can just come here and change this when I want to. There is no need for me to pull this from the database and then render it dynamically, okay? So as you can see, this is just flat data, okay? I can say it's something that is in your code, and it will make it up to the UI as it is. No dynamic thing that needs to be done. You just render this as it is. So Next.js has got a certain mechanism, okay? It classify or categorizes this type of data as a static data, okay? So if it's generating a static page, it just means that after you are done deploying, this data will always remain like this. Do we want to dynamically change this data? No, this data will always be like this, unless in the next version we can just change it, but it will stay like this. Like, let me say, it will stay like this in the entire life cycle of the application. As you interact with the application, this we are not expecting it to change. So this section will be categorized as static in Next.js, or maybe sometimes the page itself might be categorized as static. So static doesn't mean not moving in a sense of this movement, okay, the movement that is going on here. No, it just means that this data will be like this in the application. Let's go back here, okay? So Next.js will look for certain pages. Let's say Vercel, rather. Vercel will look for certain pages in your application, okay? And it will decide and make those pages static, okay? Simply because they are not going to change much. Let's go back to our application. This is just data, okay? This page can be rendered as a static page, because at this point in time, I don't think Next.js has picked up something that signals that this page is dependent or it's going to be dynamic. There is some sort of changing information over time. So this can be a static page. Why is Next.js doing this? First of all, it's those opinion. Those opinion are not wrong, okay? When I'm saying it's an opinion, I don't mean that maybe something that is less important, but I just mean that it's how Next.js sees the world when it comes to web, when it comes to technology, okay, and web space. So why they are doing this, number one, is their own opinion, and number two, those opinion, they are helping us, or let's say they are trying to make your pages to load faster. They are helping with the performance, rather, okay? So as you can see, this is it's a good thing, but it's very important to understand when a page is static what it means, because I once got into a problem whereby I had to call some APIs and fetch some data, but whenever I fetch that data, I get a stale data, okay? So it's very important, guys, to understand what's going on here, okay? So let's go back. So as you can see, static pages are being rendered. Okay, finalizing page optimization, collecting build traces. Okay, now this is one of the other things that are important. Okay, apologies about that. As you can see now, Next.js uses some certain symbols, okay, to what can I say, to indicate your routes. Okay, so this is also important. This is the route that we have, which is /home. We've got a not found, maybe this one, it's there by default from Next.js, from Vercel. We've got also this one. Okay, if you look at these routes, there is some sort of a zero here, or some sort of a symbol, okay, which is some sort of a circle, or it's zero. What it means, as you can see, here's the some sort of an explanation. It's a static route. Okay, it's static, pre-rendered as static content. So this means that these pages will only be pre-rendered. They will be crafted at build time, and once they are deployed, the build time is done, and then it means that you're just going to get this. There's no need for this to be rendered dynamically. Okay, I hope you get that one. So now, one thing to look for here, okay, look for your routes. Okay, if you know, as we continue here with this course, you will see there will be a time whereby we need to fetch dynamic data. So this means that those pages, they must not have this zero. Once it has this zero, we need to do something. If not, we don't check that, you might find out that you've got a page that fetches data when you click something, okay, whatever that you click, but it will always get the stale data. It doesn't matter how much the database has changed, because Next.js has locked some sort of that data at build time. Okay, so it always save that old data. That happens, and it took me some time to figure it out. I don't want to lie. I thought it was React Query, I thought it was Prisma, I thought it was my SQL database. Okay, so it's very important to know this. And then what else? I think that is all for now. Okay, as you can see, guys, it's telling you deployment outputs and deployment completed. So it's very important to always look at this when it's deploying. Look at it, what it's doing, so that when it faces an error, it will help you to understand the platform. Okay, so with that being said, I think we can go back here. We can visit our application. Okay, now, let me just show you my own website, Matthew Msingathi. Okay, this is my own website, and I've also deployed this website on Vercel. One might ask, how is it possible that this is under your domain? Okay, whereas it's still on Vercel. Okay, so once you got your own hosting, okay, you will need to some sort of link your own hosting. Let's say your unique IP address. Okay, that is responsible for, I think it's the DNS server or something, but more about that later. Okay, so your unique IP address, or the location, okay, to this, it must be linked to Vercel, so that when you hit this endpoint or this URL, somebody might think that they are hitting this domain, whereas they are hitting Vercel's server directly, and they are being served this page. Okay, so as you can see here, let's read here, domains. Okay, so meaning that you can add a domain here, just like this one. Okay, this is my own coaching course. If you might want to contact me one-on-one, you want to ask something, you can just come here and click discovery call, and then I'll come back to you. I will teach you exactly what you want to know. Okay, obviously people take some different packages. Some others, they want more than 10 hours. So I will teach you exactly what you want to know based on where you are in terms of your knowledge and your skills. Okay, so let's continue, guys. So as you can see here, we've got domain, so meaning that you can add a domain here and link it. Okay, what else do we want to check here? Where do we go if you want to see this? Okay, so as you can see, guys, this is some sort of the domain that is here at the moment, which is Vercel's domain. Okay, so let's just click here and see. So this means that now our project, it's running live. Okay, and that brings us to the end of this session. It was a bit longer and it had a lot of explanation, but I'm glad you have made it this far, because now you know some things which maybe other courses they don't really get into the deep dive and explain it to you. I am Matthew Msingathi. I'm a designer and I am a developer. Thank you so much for making it this far. If you feel like this video is adding value to you, please don't forget to leave a positive review. See you on the next one.